This your homegirl Ray doing another video, putting it on Facebook and YouTube very soon. And what I want to talk about is this Candace Owens person. She seems to be a very nice young lady, very smart, and very damaged. And the reason why I'm saying she's damaged goods to us anyway. Because she keeps bringing up the fact that George Floyd had a criminal record. Malcolm X had a criminal record. Look how he turned his life around. Plenty of brothers that was in the Nation of Islam or went to the Hebrew Israelites or any other black organization were once criminals. You go into any of these Christian churches now, you will see plenty of brothers in there who had a criminal record. Plenty of ex-gang members are now business owners. They are now in the military. They are in college. They're working. They are contributing to American society, even though we are living in a racist continent, a racist climate. And what she wants to do is eliminate white supremacy as a problem. This woman knows nothing about her history. If she looks in her history real quick, real close, she will see where black Americans were making strides after slavery, during Jim Crow. We even had a Black Wall Street. Successful communities, all burned down, destroyed. By who? By who? The police and the Ku Klux Klan and those that believe in white supremacy. That's what she don't seem to get. This woman is what, 30? 31? She was raised by her grandparents. Where were the parents? Where is her mother and father? Where is her brothers and sisters? Okay, so this woman basically was abandoned by her own parents. The grandparents raised her. And everybody knows what happens when old people raise children. That's why menopause was invented. That's why menopause is in place. If you're over 60 years old, you're not supposed to have any more kids or any children. Now, some people will disagree with me. They'll go into their Bible. Oh, well, this one and that one had a child while they was in their 70s or 90s. That is not the case anymore. This is a new age, a new chair, a new everything. Candace Owens is living in a place where she wants to believe white America is on her side. In my lifetime, I have experienced racism on the very deepest levels. Racism helped kill off my father, my grandfather, my grandfather's brothers, my grandfather's father. Okay? Racism. Racism killed Malcolm Shabazz, the grandson of Malcolm X. She may not be a target. She may not be. But the rest of us are. Especially those of us that were born in certain families. I can name my family right off the hilt. Can she? Where does her people come from in America and in Africa? Okay, my people come from the Cape Verdean Islands, and that is in West North Africa. Okay? My great-grandmother is from the United States. She was a Mohawk Indian. She was separated from her parents by white people. when they decided to go into all them Native American homes and get the Native American children and put them in reform schools, camps, religious order places, this woman has no idea what the hell she is talking about. Racism does exist in the United States. White supremacy will always be right here. Black Lives Matter. Now, these young people came out, started protesting, and they did a wonderful job. In some instances, they're going too far off the ledge, wearing their t-shirts or their face masks in their places of work, their places of business. Some of these people are security guards, and they're angry. These people are angry, and you can't get upset with people that are angry. One thing you can do when a person is angry or they are going through an episode, the best thing to do is to either talk to that person or wait it out. She talked about the biggest problem in the black community is the absent father. Okay. Yeah, some fathers are absent out of the home. But what about those fathers that are in the home? Okay? They don't interact with the children. They don't read to their children. They don't play with the children. They don't teach the children anything. How to survive, how to cook, how to read a newspaper, how to do anything, how to carry on a conversation. And a lot of fathers are in the home, but some of them are absent, just like during the 60s. My father grew up in a home where it was mother and father, and he was being physically abused, physically, emotionally, verbally abused by his own father. So this narrative about, oh, during the 60s and 50s, there was a 23 whatever difference, and now it's like 70%. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about none of that. I've been to prison. I've been to jail. Okay? Now I'm out here. I'm working every day. Every day I can work. I work. I pay taxes. I file my taxes. I do it on my own now. I read books. I do artwork. I do everything I need to do to stay out of trouble. Okay? So this narrative that she's giving is like totally off. It's off base. She's being paid by the right wing, and she's being paid by white supremacist motherfuckers. And everybody knows what happens to people that serve those people. They did it during Jim Crow. They did it during slavery. They did it every time they could get a chance. And what we call those people, we don't call them Uncle Toms. We call them Sambos. Okay? That's what we call them. Race traitors. You know? And a race traitor is the worst thing you can be. Now in 2011, August 2011, my sister-in-law and 3 of her children were all murdered in their home. They were murdered by a black man. I did not see Black Lives Matter marching up down the street. I did not see anybody protesting. The only people that was back and forth to the court or writing the governor or writing the Senate or getting in touch with the Congress people were the people in the family. And we were trying to get a law passed. If you killed somebody that was in the military or serving in the military, if you killed them, you would get the death penalty or life in prison. I would have preferred John Moses Reagan to get the death penalty, period. Me personally. And this George Floyd person, he's nothing compared to what John Moses Reagan was. Okay? John Moses Reagan was somebody that was a leech. He was a crab. And as soon as my sister said that she wanted a divorce, he killed her. I have been knowing Crystal ever since she was 15 years old. A young girl. When Crystal died, I was 38 years old. Crystal was 32. Please. Some of the things Candace say is hitting on the mark, but don't ever try to bring up bad record on the victim of the person that died. George Floyd was a victim of police brutality. He was murdered, just like so many others in this country. And we cannot forget that. He's not my hero. I don't know George Floyd. I never met George Floyd. I never met Michael Brown. I never met Travis Martin. I never met any of these young people. Sandra Bland. I never met Sandra Bland. But I do remember when Sandra Bland was on Facebook and she was posting certain things on Facebook. And me and her did interact together. I did agree with some of the things she posted. And when she died, I was very angered. I was very upset. Okay? Black Lives Matter didn't protest then. The Black Panthers, the new Black Panther Party, was out there marching. The Hebrew Israelites was out there marching. Now we got Black Lives Matter. And there's another group behind Black Lives Matter. Nobody seems to know anything about them. Nobody's talking about them. But this is my message to Candace Owens. Please stop pulling up negative things about these victims that died. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Our biggest inspiration was Malcolm X. He was murdered during the 60s. Okay? Martin Luther King was murdered during the 60s. Plenty of our martyrs are dead and gone. Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Daddy Grace, Father Divine. I can go on and on and on. But I don't like what you said about Auntie Maxine. Maxine Waters, the Congress lady from California. I don't appreciate the comments that you made about her, saying that she has a low IQ. This one, if she had such a low IQ, why she lived to be 81 years old? Why? This woman is 81 years old. She's been serving in Congress for 40 years. She's done more work than you will ever do in your whole life. You can't even compare yourself with her. Or Barbara Jordan, or Shirley Chisholm, Angela Davis, Sister Shakur that's down there in Cuba. Can you compare yourself really with these women? These women know their history. You have no knowledge of your history. You have nothing. And you want to keep talking about white supremacy is at the bottom of the list. It's on the list. It's at the top of the list, baby. Look at the 9 sections of society and see who's supporting white supremacy. And it's every industry that's on that list. It's 9 of them, baby girl. I got sisters your age. Sisters. And they don't even talk like you. No. You trying to blame Black America for Black America's problems. Yes, we have done some things. Yes, they have a problem in Chicago. They have a problem with this gang violence. They got a problem with fathers being out of the home. Fathers are in the home now. Been in the homes for the last 20, 30 years. Some of these dudes. And if they're not in the home, they are in the lives of their children. I didn't meet my father. I didn't meet my biological father until I was 30 years old. By the time I really started getting to know him, I was 36. He had passed away. He was 63 years old, man. I sat with my father in the hospital, dying. When I went into that room, he was totally transformed from the big muscular man that I knew until he looked like a little small 8-year-old boy in that bed. And this ain't no joke, and this ain't no word of lie. My father is Lantreese Charles Smith. He is the son and the grandson of Lantreese Charles Smith. The father and the grandfather. They all have the same name. So you need to be careful of what you're saying, young lady. Be careful and be mindful.